What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about the current state of affairs of the crypto markets right now. We're going to talk about Bitcoin for sure in this video. And before we do, I just want to play you guys a little song. This is a time-old classic from the 2018 to 2019 bear market. So if you've been around for a little while, you'll remember this one. It's nostalgic. If not, maybe you'll grow to appreciate it. But this is an oldie but goodie here.
Bitcoin, please go to moon. Stop going sideways now. Don't ever say we going down to 1K, but Mr. Novogratz say we have bottomed out. Bottomed out, Novogratz is bullish. Bottomed out, don't ever rise is bearish.
Bearish target, 13 times there.
Novogratz is bullish.
Bitcoin could be at 40,000.
Let us go to moon.
Okay, that's the song. Obviously, the prices are not relevant anymore. They're totally irrelevant. $1,500, $40,000, man. Nobody's that bearish, right? But it feels very much similar. Although that was a song that came out toward the end of the bear market. This is more at the end of this little bear run that we've had in the bull market, right? This bearish slip. I might even call it a bear trap. In fact, I was actually making a post on x.com talking about how I think that this is like a carrot that the bulls are dangling in front of the bears, and the bears are fully unaware of where they're being led to, guys. This is the land of the bull. This is the land of the bull where bear traps are aplenty. And if you're not aware of your surroundings, my bear friends, you are about to get, you're about to get trapped. I don't know. That was a very, I like hit my fingertips. It was supposed to be like that. You know what I mean? But anyways, $82,400 right now is where Bitcoin's at. Okay. The bottom could be in. It's completely possible, and I would say even logical that we would go lower. And that might be exactly why we don't go lower, right? Even your 8-year-old brother who's never done crypto before, never been an investor before, he knows about prior support and resistance. He knows how this stuff works, right? And so does everybody else who's investing in crypto, right? They're all aware that the quote-unquote minimum target to find support at, because there's no reason why you would find support here, would be all the way down at these areas that you found resistance at before, which is at just below $74,000, right? Right there at about 73K. Maybe you go a little bit higher. Maybe it is about 74K, something like that. But tomato, whatever. What's $1,000 between a $75,000 asset at the time? 82,400 now. It's possible, you guys, we could drop about another 10K. It's possible we could drop all the way down to 68K and then come out. This drop does not necessarily have to end here. However, I'm under a strong suspicion that it is, right? And I think a lot of crypto OGs over the past 12 hours, over the past 18 hours, have said the same stuff on x.com. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but you guys, the bull market is still firmly in place, right? This is not over. And that's kind of why I was talking, or that's why I played that song in the beginning, because we have bottomed out. And if we're not bottomed out, we're very close to bottoming out. And if anybody out there believes that there's no more new all-time highs for Bitcoin or new all-time highs for whatever crypto it is you're holding, you're going to miss out. And what's unfortunate about that is you're not only going to sell at a terrible time and take a loss, but you're going to watch your projects that you've been holding for months, and then you held through all the torment of it going down, and then you sold at the worst possible moment. You're going to watch those projects do everything that you thought they would do. And that's the worst feeling ever, man. That's the worst. Where you literally you buy high, you sell low, and then you watch them go where they're supposed to go anyways. It's really unfortunate, and a lot of people unfortunately will fall prey to this. You know how we know that that's going to happen? If we look at the crypto fear and greed index right now, it's at a 21. Let's refresh it. Is it still at a 21? Yeah, it's at a 21. What about the actual the old crypto fear and greed index? I mean, this one, I like this one more. I feel like it's actually more accurate. This might blind our retinas. Be aware. Let's see. It's very bright. Bright. Yeah, we're at extreme fear here, right? Yesterday we were at level 10. Now we're at 16. That's extreme, you guys. And I mean, you can go back if you want to type this one in. Just type in crypto fear and greed index on Google. You can type in alternative.me if you want, but if you just type in crypto fear and greed index, this one comes to me because it's you visit often. But if you just scroll through it, right here, alternative.me crypto dashboard. Yeah, I think that one is probably it. You'll have to click through ads or whatever, but if you go to the maximum time frame, you go through any moment in Bitcoin's history where we're at these levels. Look at that. June 2022, you were down here at first in May 2022. Let's see. When was that for Bitcoin? June 2022, May 2022. I know that wasn't the end of the bear market. We still had more to go. Right? June 2022 is here. May 2022 is here. So it wasn't the low. And this is, I think, a great example because we could go lower. But still, we had a overall, 27% bounce with Bitcoin in a course of less than a month, right? That could cause a rally for altcoins if we saw a 27% pump right now in less than a month. This one here caused a 43% pump in the course of about a couple months, so something like that, 2 months, 3 months, whatever time frame that is. Still, that's a nice pump and rally, and that was near the very end of the bear cycle. As we get into November of 2022, this fear and greed index was higher. It was at a little bit higher levels, right? But still at fairly low levels. All I'm trying to say is that generally speaking, when you get to these levels, it is near the end, or at least somewhere around a relative area to bounce, right? And this was in the bear market. We're in a bull market now. So let's see if we've done any of this in a bull market, right? March, April 2020. You guys remember that? We were in a bull market at that point, but that was the COVID crash. And what did we do from the COVID crash? We corrected and we ran all the way up to $69,000 afterwards. That's what all this greed is up here, right? I guess not even there because we topped off in November. But if you check these levels, historically speaking, it generally does indicate that we are due for some kind of bounce. Does it mean that we're done going lower? No, not necessarily. And that's why this line is here, because we could go there and lower still. But if we want to invalidate this movement down to this area, the way to do that, the path forward from a high to a low here, would be to get all the way back above the breakout point. If you can get above the golden ratio, which is at about $96.3 thousand, if you can get above that, and not just wick above it, but close a given day above it, ideally 2 days in a row would be nice. Not only would that pull you all the way back up to the point of where you broke out from, but it would likely invalidate the notion of going lower. You would stop hearing people talking about prices below 70K, prices below 60K even. You stop hearing people say the bear market's on and the bull market's dead. And you would start to hear everybody say the same stuff that we were saying, maybe at these levels here. A lot of people weren't saying it at these levels, but new all-time highs. They're right on the board. And if we look at this from a high to a low, if that is the low, assuming that's the low, and it very well could not be, right? I'm not making a call one way or another at this point. I'm just saying let's react. If I had to guess, I'm going to call for it to be the low, but I mean, it could go lower. It wouldn't hurt my feelings or my pride at all if it went lower. That doesn't feel like the most solid call, right? And I feel like if it went up here, I could totally see that happening. But I would like to see it happen first before getting anybody and everybody's hopes up. Because in moments like this, it's completely possible and even likely, I would say, that the low is in and that we're going to go above the golden ratio and recover and do all these great things that we're talking about right now. But at the same time, Bitcoin is notorious for 30% drops in a bull market. And while I've been laughing at that notion, while I literally was like, we're not going to do that anymore, the time of 30% drops are behind us, we're very close to it, my friends. And if you hit 30%, that's still a little bit lower than we're at now, and likely that would be a good reason to go to these levels too. So just keep it in mind, we could go lower. No matter how high we go, we could go lower. If we're not above $96,300 on a 2-day closing period in a row, wherever we go up from here, we could still come down. Okay, so just be aware of that. We're going to react to the market instead of, we're predicting how it is, but we'll react to it too as it comes. The minimum target from the all-time high would be about a 10% pump at about $120,000. The 1618 is all the way there at about $134,000. If we look at the 1886, the 2272 levels, those are completely logical and feasible target areas that we could achieve, not just by the end of April, but potentially by the end of March, right? This is what's oncoming next. I'm assuming the same stuff that I was assuming back here, right? Before we had like this last 2 days, and I was like, we're going to see a crash. I thought 85K would be the lowest we would go to. That's what I was calling for. So from 85K and down, I was wrong. But for the majority of the move, I guess we got it right, if that is a thing. But I'm going to call for the same thing here when it comes in regards to this movement up, as I was calling for throughout this whole phase here. When we move up, it will be the biggest move up that we've seen throughout this whole entire bull cycle. Starting from this low, it's very unlikely at this point that we see 170K to 180K by the end of March, but I very much think we can still see that by the end of April. Certainly by the end of March, I think 120 to 130K, even 140K is still on the table. But time will tell. We'll see how that goes. If we go up from here, if we invalidate this low from here, if we have a rapid recovery. If, however, we spend the whole month of March consolidating, well, those targets are still there, but we have to push them back. You know what I mean? If we spend the whole month of March trying to climb back up and we're pumping, we're moving up, well, obviously these targets that I have for the end of April are going to have to come down and be pushed back until like May or something like that, right? But it all depends on how we react to this golden ratio. These are the target areas that I'm looking for, but do we hit them? Will we see them by the end of March, by the end of April? That all depends on what we do this week, right? By the end of this week, by the end of next week, it depends on how we recover from this, or if we recover at all. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. So I'm fully expecting that the bull market is still on. I don't think that the bull market's dead at all. The only people who are scared and who are calling for the bull market to be over are people who are in their first cycle. Every person that's been in crypto for multiple cycles at least, they're still bullish because they're aware. They're aware of these shenanigans that happen in the bull markets, right? I know it's scary. I know it is, but if it's your first cycle, it's the scariest. If it's your second cycle, it's still a little worrisome, but you know better because you've been here before. And if it's your third cycle like me or longer, you're looking at this with popcorn in your hand and you're like, damn, this is fun, man. This is a great buying opportunity for everybody involved. I don't care if you only have $100 to scrap together. You're scrapping pennies together, going to the bank and cashing out your coin jar. It's a good time to put any amounts of money in, you guys, into the markets. That's just my perspective, but I'm talking a lot, so I'm gonna end the video there. Bull market's still on. It's not going away. Even if we go to 68K, you guys, we're gonna see new all-time highs. It's inevitable. Okay, Bitcoin. I'll tell you what. One thing out of everything in this video that I've said, I'm not certain if we're moving up from here. I'm not certain if we're moving down from here. I've told you what I'd like to see. I told you if we don't get what I'd like to see, where we'd go. Not certain 100% one way or another, but what I am certain of is that the bull market is not over, and that $109,000 is not the all-time high for the 2025 bull market run. No, my friends. 2024. I think it was actually 2024. So 2024, 2025 bull market. No, it's not. It's not done yet, my friends. It's got more to go. I've got nothing else to say. If you like the video, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.